Each and every day, farmers and producers all over the country work to produce products that consumers both domestically and internationally enjoy. And it shouldn't come as a surprise that in doing so, they want a fair and equal playing field to do business on. But according to blueberry growers, that's not the case, especially when it comes to imports of berries into the U.S., in which growers say countries, especially Mexico, are dumping their products into U.S. markets unfairly.
If you look at what blueberry imports have done and how dramatically they've grown over the past couple of years, I think we've been making the case in DC for years, and folks are starting to pay attention. They're looking at that trade data and seeing just a massive influx of berries coming in from 4 or 5 different countries around the world, and it's doing real harm here in Georgia and in other states across the country.
According to USDA data, in the last 15 years, blueberry imports have risen from 50 million pounds in 2005 to almost 400 million pounds in 2018. That startling fact, along with several others, prompted several different agencies like the USDA, Department of Commerce, and the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative to come together and dig deeper. One of the things they did was hold hearings in which they had 60 witnesses testify to the harm imports have on Georgia-grown products. One of those witnesses was GFB President Gerald Long, in which he stated, "Georgia's season on perishable commodities production has been and continues to be directly affected by Mexican imports due to our shared market imports." After those hearings, the USTR on September 29th formally requested that the International Trade Commission initiate a Section 201 global safeguard investigation regarding blueberry imports into the U.S., something that blueberry producers nothing short of applauded. In a press release regarding the decision, Jerome Crosby, chair of the American Blueberry Growers Alliance, said, "On behalf of U.S. blueberry growers, I want to thank the administration for taking this critical action. The flood of foreign imports of blueberries has caused significant damage to growers from coast to coast and across the heartland of this country. At a time when domestic food security is especially critical, this action is essential to preserve American farms, our family's way of life, and our communities, and we look forward to working with the ITC in conducting its investigation. The investigation request is a historic one, since one hasn't been initiated by the USTR in almost 20 years.
One of the things that makes this Section 201 investigation unique is that there are two ways you can do it. One, a domestic producer or domestic industry can petition for a 201 investigation. The administration is also able to do that on their own, and that's what happened here. USTR, I believe, for the first time, or maybe the second time in about 25 years, actually requested that the International Trade Commission take a look at blueberry imports from across the world.
Now that the Section 201 investigation has been initiated, the ITC will come back in anywhere from 120 to 180 days and report their findings to administration officials, which will then make recommendations to the president on what to do.
If they find in the affirmative for the blueberry growers, is they'll offer some types of remedies. They'll send those over to the president. Now it's up to the president to decide then what to do. He can pick all 6 of those things. He can pick one of those things, 3 of those things. He can do absolutely nothing at all, or he could do something completely different. So ultimately, it'll be up to the president to decide if there is a finding in the affirmative for the blueberry growers.
This, however, is just one part of the story. Next week, we'll take a look into how imports from Mexico are affecting other fruit and vegetable producers and what's being done about it. In North Georgia, I'm John Holcomb.